Hello and welcome to Husky Hoops. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. With me, as always, UConn women's basketball legend, Western Connecticut State University head coach, Maria Conlon. Maria, great to see you.
Good to see you.
And of course, the legendary voice of the Huskies, the best of the best, Joe D'Ambrosia. Joe,
Good morning, kids. How are we?
great to see you. Thank you both for adjusting your schedules to accommodate us today. This was very important to go over our Husky hoops for the week, and it was a big week. We will start especially with the women. Maria, the women played Michigan, and it was a tight game, as you somewhat predicted. You said that initially. You thought it was going to be close, and it sure was. It gave us minor heart attacks here and there. But what were your thoughts overall? I mean, they're the number 6 ranked team in the country. They're no pushover. They have some really good players. I believe it was Sila. I can't remember her last name. She had almost 30 points. She was on fire.
Swords.
And
Silas Swords.
Silas, okay, and Olivia was the other one that played really well. That I saw. But overall, what were your thoughts? Was it what you expected?
Yes and no. I thought we would win by double digits, which I think if Swords didn't hit those ridiculous threes like she did, we probably would have. I think we said this last week. I mean, I really believed that going into the season that this would be one of their hardest games. Out of conference or just in general. And I think we saw that. I mean, the Michigan coach, she's a really, really good coach. I really like her.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah. I like her demeanor. She definitely had them prepared and scouted pretty well. I didn't think they played particularly great in that first half, Michigan. So I don't know what the heck she said at halftime, but whatever she said worked. I think the big thing for me, like, still watching, the women is like us getting a little more consistent with like who's going to be the third person of that 3-headed monster for us. We know that AZ and Sarah are going to do their thing. But they can't each average 40 points a game. I didn't think KK played well again. I didn't think Heckle played that good. The freshman who played great against Ohio State didn't play well. She actually didn't even play much.
Olivia. Yep.
Yeah.
Bianca. I'm sorry, Bianca.
Yeah, which I think she just got rookie of the week. But
yeah, she only played 8 minutes.
She played a lot better against Utah, I thought. It didn't seem like they got as much production from other people against Michigan as I thought they would. But then in the Utah game, I thought we looked great. Now, Utah's not the same caliber as Michigan on any front, but I think we looked. AZ looked really, really good against Utah. Just all around defensively, passing. Obviously, her scoring ability, I thought she looked great. Sarah looked great per usual, and you had some other kids that played a little bit better. So, yeah, I think it's just really finding who that third constant is going to be, and I guess it could be a different person every night. But I think just a little bit more consistent production from some of those role players would be better.
Yeah, Ashlyn was only 3 for 10 from 3-point range, which was not good. Joe, they came out firing to a lead in the first quarter. It was 22-5. I thought it was going to be a runaway. Michigan comes back in the second half somewhat, and then obviously halftime happens. And for us to score 4 points in the third quarter, wow. But what were your thoughts overall?
Well, I think Maria had it diagnosed personally. I mean, Michigan's a really good team. Kim Barnes-Arico is an outstanding coach. She was a great coach when she was at St. John's. before taking the Michigan job. I think I'm a little disappointed, and Maria, tell me if you think I'm off base here, in what they've seen out of Sarah Williams so far. It really looks like she's taken the time to adjust to not being the big fish in the pond, and she's not going to be with AZ and Sarah on the court. Kate Ashlyn Shade is what she is. She's an inconsistent shooter, 3 for 10, 2 for 6 on Friday night, and then Sunday afternoon she was 4 for 9, 0 for 3. I mean, it's kind of what we'll talk about with the men's shooting as well. KK is meteoric. Some games she's going to be terrific. Some games she's going to struggle a little bit. I think Quinones has the best potential to be that number 3 scorer that UConn looks for. I mean, she had the 21 points in 17 minutes against Utah, which obviously was not the same caliber competition. And I think it's disturbing that you let Michigan get back in the game, but I think answering the call at the end, making big plays down the stretch. Now look, some of the shots the kid from Michigan hit, down the
it
stretch.
felt like March Madness.
Yeah, exactly.
On the men's side.
Exactly. You're gonna live with that because your defense was pretty good, and she was just chucking them up.
Although if you're KK, how do you get hit by that screen twice?
Well, I mean, you're not aware. Seriously, I mean, what are you gonna? What's the story with that? But yeah, I don't think it's bad that they had a little scare put them in on Friday, and then I think in typical Gino team fashion, they responded with a big effort on Sunday, albeit over a far inferior opponent. But all in all, it's a positive weekend. You get to spend 3 days at the casino, and you play a couple of teams that you don't normally play. I don't think there were any negatives on the weekend for overall. I mean, individual games, yes, there were negatives, but overall, I don't think there were any negatives.
I would just say that the only negative that I saw, and this doesn't even have to do with UConn, it's just mind blowing to me from the Michigan coach. The only error I thought she really made in that game is how do you foul AZ Fudd twice to go to the free throw line? Literally foul anyone else, and you might have had a shot to make a game winner or something. But this girl's it's like fouling Steph Curry.
Yeah. No, that's a great point, Maria. I mean, and what you do, and this as a coach, is you double team her on the inbounds and force the ball out of her hands.
Whoever's guarding the inbounder, just double team AZ. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to guard the inbounder in that situation.
No.
You want to guard everybody else and make it hard for them to get the ball in. So yeah, that was strategic. That was strategically bad. And as a team, 10 for 11 from the line in that game, mainly because AZ went 6 for 6 down the stretch. Yep. I mean, that's the reason the free throw shooting was so good. But yeah, I think the weekend was fine. And, it's all part of the process of building up towards March and April. I mean, we don't even let's be honest. We don't even think about gearing up towards the Big East schedule because it's just going to just be what it always is. It's just, it's like Sherman marching through Georgia. It's the UConn and women's basketball on the conference schedule is no different than the American. The old Big East used to be better because there were teams like BC when they were good. Louisville, Syracuse would come up with a good team. God knows Rutgers was always a rock fight. They played, I don't want to say dirty, but they played rough. They were very physical. So yes, I think all in all, I think it was a good weekend. It was a good showcase. Getting the game. I think, and people can poo-poo this all they want, and that's fine because you don't know what you're talking about. But I think getting a Friday night game on national TV for women's basketball was great.
Absolutely,
not on Fox Sports 1 or any of the sub networks, but getting it on Fox.
Absolutely, Maria. I wanted to ask you. Did you think possibly Gianna Alfie should have played a little bit more in this game? because Sarah Williams was kind of off kilter a little bit
in the Michigan game?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think it was smart to go with a smaller lineup against
Smaller
them.
lineup. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said this before. Like El Affy and even Williams to an extent, if there's not an extremely dominant big who doesn't play inside and outside, isn't on the other team, there's really like, we're in the world of bigs being able to, roam on the 3-point line, shoot it, get downhill from there. Those are tough guards for, El Affy and Williams to bring them away from the basket like that. So, no, I don't think so. And we have such a guard-oriented offense too. It's like with the cuts and the flashing and, it's almost like it's partially the Princeton offense, but not. Like there's just a lot of cutting and moving. And I don't think that works to their advantage in their style of play.
Right. Joe, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I never will question what Gino does substitution-wise.
Right.
He and the staff have a better pulse on what's going on with the team. And again, we don't see what's going on in practice. And he and CD and Mo and JJ and Tanya have a better pulse of what's going on with that. So if he doesn't think somebody's worthy of minutes or they don't fit into the game situation, I mean, look, Al Alfie's been here for 3 years now. She knows what the drill is, and she knows if she doesn't play well or practice well, she's not gonna play much. So I don't think that's I think, Steve, that's your version of Victor Rosa with football.
Right.
I think it's
Caitlin Chen from last year.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's a product of what you do in the week leading up to the game. So no, I don't.
The only reason I say it, I thought she played well down the stretch last year during the Final Four. So that's why I thought she improved a lot. But seeing what we have and seeing what Michigan had, yes, it makes sense for her to get less minutes. But
they must not have thought she was that great because they brought Sarah Williams in.
That's what I'm saying. They did bring Sarah Williams in. But I still think that she knows what she can do, and she does it well. She's not someone who's going to score. She blocks shots, she fouls, and she plays decent defense. She's a presence in the middle. But, yeah, she's not going to provide you any scoring. So I definitely agree with you.
As Maria has said, if there's not an opposing big
you don't
going to give you issues, then you don't have to play her. You can play Sarah at the 5.
You can.
I mean, it's a matchup business at the D1 level, and who can guard Sarah Strong if she's a 4 or a 5, or even if she plays the 3, right? Nobody. So
she can play anywhere. She can play anywhere she wants. No one's going to guard her. And that was a good win for them to come back and finish that off when they could have easily lost it against the number 6 team. Great to see it against Michigan. And then it was on to Utah. And Maria, like you said, AZ had a phenomenal game. She had a phenomenal game. 28 minutes, 9 of 11 from the field. I mean, she was 4 for 4 for 3-point land. What did you think of her performance overall? 8 rebounds.
I thought that against Utah, that was one of the best games I've seen AZ play, like all-round games. I actually watched her more on the defensive end the other day than I normally do. I mean, she's everywhere, she's switching on a bigger guard, smaller guards. She's just she just looks so good right now, physically and mentally, and I think you're seeing that in the stat lines. Because I think she thinks every single shot's going in, which it almost did the other day. So I guess good reason for that. But I think that she's starting to kind of facilitate herself into like pretty much being like what Paige was last year in terms of like commanding the presence out there. She's been very quiet over the years, like unassumingly, like, she's really good. She's a leader in her own way. But I actually saw her directing and talking a lot more this past weekend than I have in the past. And they need her to do that because as good as Sarah is, she's still a little shy, right? She's still a little quiet. You see that even in her interviews. But I thought AZ looked great.
Yeah. Joe, what did you think of AZ's performance? I mean, I think that having Sarah Strong takes a lot of pressure off her, and that's part of the reason she's playing well.
Well, but vice versa. Having AZ takes a lot of pressure. I thought AZ stunk. I don't know how she missed 2 shots, to be bluntly honest with you. I mean, that's a failure on her and a failure on the coach.
It's inexcusable.
It's inexplicable and inexcusable. No, she's great. And I think she understands, and we know Sarah might be the best player on the team, but AZ understands it's her team because it's her last year. Sarah's got the next 2 years to be in charge. So I think AZ, as Maria's talked about, has stepped up in the leadership role. I think she's more not forthcoming, but she's more demonstrative. She without bitching and moaning at teammates and stuff. I think it's a perfect storm for her to have a senior year to remember, and good for her because look at all the injuries that she's dealt with over her time at UConn. I mean, if she hadn't gotten hurt, I mean, who knows where she would stand on the all-time scoring list. But that's not what UConn basketball is about. It's not about how many points you score. It's about how many natties you win. And I think though that she wants to show that she can be the leader, she can be the number one player, and she can lead a team to a championship. And I think we're seeing that 5-6 games into the season already, which is an outstanding sign if you're Gino and the coaches.
Well, and I said to someone the other day who was asking me about her, I said, listen, she would have been a first-round draft pick had she left last year, right? I'm pretty sure she's done with her degree at this point, right? Like,
I think so.
Yeah. Like, I think personally for me, I think she stayed for exactly what you just said, Joe, so that she can put her stamp on a season in the books of, okay, this was my – because listen, let's face it, every year she's been here, she's either been hurt or it's been Paige's team, right? So, now, although, yes, she has Sarah Strong, just like Paige did last year, and Paige had AZ and Sarah Strong. But I think, like, there's a different level of it when you're a senior and it's definitely your last year. I think she stayed so that she could slide into the role that we're talking about right now.
And look at how ironic it is. You know who was the number one pick in the WNBA draft? Dallas.
I saw that.
Dallas.
Yeah.
I don't think listen, I don't think they should pick her because they have a lot of other issues there. But,
yeah.
But they could, they could.
Yeah. If they want to load, if Jose Fernandez wants to load up the offense, then that's the path.
They need a solid big though.
Yes, they absolutely do.
Maria, what did you think about KK's performance? She had 7 points. She had 4 steals, 3 assists in 20 minutes. Is that about what we're going to be expecting of her? Should she have more assists? She's not going to be that 20-point scorer, but she's going to be the facilitator.
When I look at KK, and listen, I love what KK provides when she's out there. She's like a human energy ball. Yes. And I think that is her sole job this year. I really believe that. Obviously, she needs to facilitate the offense and get people involved and all that. But as long as she's bringing that energy, because she's really the only one on the team that has that like gear that goes, because all the rest of them are pretty like steady Eddie, and she's a disruptor. So I think anytime she's being a disruptor in there, it's fine. I mean, listen, she's going to have some games where she's going to be in double digits just because the team we're playing against is bad. She gets steals, she gets out on the break, blah, blah, blah. But I think in the games that are going to be tight, I think what you saw from her over the weekend is what you're going to get.
Joe, what did you think about her play?
You know what? I think all you need KK to do is take care of the ball, find the right people in the offense, knock down a couple of shots, and defend the other team's point guard. And if she does that, then I think she's. I don't think we have to look at her numbers. I don't think we have to We have to overanalyze what they need from her. I think they need her to do just what I said. And when she does that, she's a valuable, she's an important piece of the puzzle. When she doesn't do that, you got issues because I don't think Heckle can do
No.
any of those things as well as KK can. So make a couple shots, distribute the ball to the right people at the right time, get a couple of steals, and play some suffocating defense on the other team's point guard. That's all. It's not.
You needed 3 the other day, Joe. I don't know if you saw that, but like the girl was like 10 feet off of her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you gotta shoot it, but I kind of saw Coach's face, like when she released it, was like, this is either gonna be the best shot of the game or like the absolute worst. I mean, she made it, so it was fine. Yeah. But I think even she was surprised.
Well, she doesn't have the shooter mentality like you did.
Yeah.
So that's a big difference. But no, I think KK's fine. I don't think we have to. I don't think each game has to be a referendum on what KK Arnold brings to the team.
Yeah, and she didn't have any turnovers. But again, Sarah Williams did not play tremendously well. 2 points in 15 minutes. She had 4 turnovers. She did have 8 rebounds. What are you thinking of her, Maria? I mean, she just doesn't seem to be coming around yet.
No, I mean, listen, it's still early, right? We've been talking about this. Yeah, I mean, I've been kind of underwhelmed the last few games with her, and I was high on her in the beginning. I thought she played well. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, she's definitely from a production standpoint got to do more, or she's just going to be riding the pine. They're going to play with 4 guards and Sarah, which thankfully for them, they can do pretty easily. And I think like a point that Joe brought up inadvertently earlier is like, if you're Gino and you're playing against a team, even like Michigan, right? And Sarah's the 5, we know she can guard a 5. But I think more importantly, what we have to understand is that whoever has to now match up against her on the other end, it's a complete mismatch, right? Because you're pulling that 5 away from the hoop because she can shoot the 3, she can do all these other things. Yeah. So it's a major mismatch on the other side. And if you got 4 guards that are clicking and are playing well, I would just go 4 guards and have Sarah play the big.
100%.
Totally agree. Totally agree. I mean, look, I don't reading her, looking at what she's done in the past. I don't have any. I don't think she's going to be, to use another football analogy, Nick Evers. Okay, I don't think she's going to be wasted money. But yeah, I mean, different kids take different amounts of time to get used to coming here and playing. It's not like when Maria played, when everybody was there 4 years and you knew what everybody did, and by the time you got to your 3rd year together, you had an understanding of what was required. That's not the case anymore, where kids parachute in for a year or 2. So it's going to take her time. I think midway through the season, we'll have figured out exactly what Sarah Williams can do and what she can't. And I think, I'm confident that by the time that they saw something in her that made them bring her in. Okay. This is not who she is. She's not playing very well. She's far too inconsistent. Like I said, I mean, she's trying to learn how to be the third cog in the wheel with AZ and Sarah Strong. So let's give her time. Let's not, that's the thing about this team. You have time to develop because you know where you're going to be in March. You're not playing every game for a shot at the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, it's not the Super Bowl every game. Yeah. Maria, Bianca played quite well. 21 points, 18 minutes, 8 for 11 shooting. Like you said, she could be the missing cog. She could be the 3rd person. Were you impressed with her play?
Well, I was impressed with her against Utah. Yeah. Right. That's when I wasn't as impressed with her.
Obviously.
She didn't play as much against Michigan. And I thought she played well against Utah. That game was out of reach pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I don't put like a ton of stock into that. You know what I mean? Like she got hot, but I thought I saw her do some things that I really, really liked. Utah was just no match for them, especially coming off a close game against Michigan. Like, Saturday when they had practice and all the stuff that they were doing, even though they beat Michigan, Coach was laying it on all day Saturday because, we got to win every game by 20. So I'm sure that they all were feeling that a little bit. And I think the positive is that she responded well. He probably was like, listen, these two can't do it all. Somebody else has got to step up. And I guarantee she heard that message and said, all right, I'll be that person. So, hopefully she can roll that into the next couple of games.
You bring up a great point, Maria, that we don't talk about enough. You have to really dig deep to find 2 games in a row, barring seasons where everybody's hurt, where UConn doesn't play well in back-to-back games. If they have what for them is a bad game or a mediocre game, they never do that a second game in a row. They come out and they kick the living crap out of the team the next day.
I said it Friday. I was like, I don't want to be Utah on Sunday.
No, and look, you didn't want to be Utah, except that like 8 wives thing that would work out well.
Yeah. The polygamy. Yeah, the polygamy works well.
Other than that, you didn't want. But it's amazing. You can parse through the box scores during the years through the scores, and you might see an 8-point game, and you never see an 8-point game again, barring the NCAA tournament. That's a different story. But regular season, they win a game by 8. That next team, man, they better get the depends on. That's all I can say.
Maria, the one person I was
listen, let's give Michigan props where they're due.
Yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely.
I was just gonna say I would not be shocked if we saw Michigan in the Final Four this year. I would not be shocked at all.
Yep, I agree.
Really?
And it would be good for her. It would be great for Kim Barnes, Rico, because she deserves that.
Is there anyone else in the Big Ten?
I would not be surprised at all.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, the Big Ten is deep.
Yeah. Who else do you like in the Big Ten?
I mean, listen, there's a bunch of teams in the Big Ten. That's a grinded out conference, right? Like, there's a lot of really good teams, but I see Michigan at the top of that. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them, in the Final Four, Elite 8, right around there at the end. I mean, they got the guards, right? I'm always big, like, you need good guards in March. You just do on the men's and the women's side.
Yep.
The one person I was mildly disappointed in was, again, Kayla. She played 22 minutes. She had 0 points. She again, just looks kind of uncomfortable out there. She looks a little tentative, hesitant. Am I wrong about that? Or is she just taking more time to get used to things? It's still early.
I mean, personally, I just think that the style of play between USC and UConn is just so different. I mean, she went from playing on a team where you're pumping the ball to 1 or 2 players. UConn doesn't play like that. It's constant movement. It's getting the best shots. So again, I think to the same point with Williams, I think we just got to give her time. And, I mean, listen, if you flash back to the beginning of last year, Caitlin Chen struggled with the same type of stuff, and I thought she came along good towards the end of the season. So, if you're a UConn fan or you watch women's basketball, you're not like, if you're smart, you're not putting so much stock in what's happening right now, especially if you're a UConn fan, because Gino always has a plan and it'll work out the way it's supposed to work out. It always does.
There's always a method to the madness, correct?
I would say so, yeah.
Moving on to the men, we had a nice victory over Bryant before our big game against Illinois coming up. Joe, what were your thoughts on the men?
Oh, we're talking about the Bryant game?
Why are we talking about that game?
Seriously,
I mean, they played. I mean, you got to mention it.
I am, and it was nice that Demery got a triple-double. It's nice that Ryba had another good game. He's really shown himself to be. They're going to have that 2-headed monster at center once Terrace Reed comes back. But look, and this was the same thing. Cariban, I'm still baffled.
Yeah.
to the point of amazement
2
that
for
he
10.
got 5 shots in the Arizona game, and then he came out and couldn't shoot, couldn't put the ball couldn't throw the ball in the water against Hideous Bryant. 2 for 10, right? I mean, come on. I can forgive Solo 3 for 11, but I think Cariban's an issue. He's got to play like the sophomore Cariban, not the junior Cariban, if this team's going to go far.
Well, him and Solo combined for what, like 2 for 13 or 14 behind
5 for 21, 2 for 13. 2 for 13. You're not going to be. Put it this way, Maria. If you shoot 2 for 13 Friday at the Garden, you're not winning.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, he was 1 for 7 for 3-point land. Joe, I think he needs a sports psychologist, to be honest, because he is just all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Steve. Maybe he does.
Listen, I'll say one thing that, this is me just because I'm a fan of Cariban. The one thing that I will give him credit for is this is his, how many years has he been here? Is this technically his 4th year, Joe?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
He's played 4 years with like completely different rosters every single year for the most part, right? Like,
very true. Yeah.
As much as we say the transfers have to adjust, it's also the kids that are there that has to adjust just to the transfers and the new kids. Like, this guy has literally played with like completely different starters for the most part every single year he's been there, I think part of this with him is just adjusting to, again, this new rotation, these new guys. He's still kind of doing his thing, but he doesn't have his groove yet.
Well, but the only new real guy is Demery. I mean, he's had Stewart.
It's an important spot, though. It's an important spot.
Yeah. Oh, it's the most important spot. There's no question. But Stewart and Jaden Ross and Reed have been there, and he's got to get used to Malachi Smith, who, again, I think I'm not a huge fan. I'll be honest so far.
Yeah.
Right.
I think he's a little too frenetic.
He's underwhelmed.
That 3 he took in the Arizona game when they were down 4, and he caught the ball on the inbounds and hoisted it up right away. It was an awful shot. But yeah, and look, I think Cariban will come around, but you hate to see, and I also think, and maybe this plays back to Steve's comment, I think he feels the weight of the world on his shoulders. I think he did last year, and I think he does this year.
Yeah.
I think
it's his 4th year.
I think and it has nothing to do. Let's get this out of the way. It has nothing to do with the NBA and the pros, because right now he's not an NBA. If Andre Jackson can't get off the bench in Milwaukee, and Jordan Hawkins is close to getting run out of New Orleans, and Sano goes over in Italy or wherever he is.
Yeah.
I mean, we put unreal expectation, not us, others put unreal expectations on these kids for the next level. And I hope Alex isn't doing that. I hope he can just enjoy this last year starting Friday night at the Garden. I think he'll come around. There's going to be some games where he's 2 for 10, 1 for 8, and you just shrug your shoulders. And there's going to be other games that he's like 9 for 11 and 4 for 7 from 3. And then you're happy with those.
And Joe, again, what did you think about the foul trouble? Because we're still fouling a lot, right?
It happens every game. They don't.
What's going to stop?
They're not. Well, but they haven't for a year and a half, Steve. What makes you think that? Do you think Hurley's going to go presto changeo, and change it right away? I mean, Maria, right?
They're going to have to deal with it.
They play defense with their hands, not their feet.
Yep, and like I've said this all last year, the timing is off.
Yep.
It's just that they've bad timing, which is rare. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
In every UConn regime that we've seen over the years, we've always been a juggernaut on defense.
Right.
And I just don't feel like we've seen that the last year and a half.
No, we have not. But it was good to see Stewart and Ross get to play pretty well, and hopefully that continues.
Is Reed back for Friday, Joe?
They don't know yet. Him him and Moon Mullins are still day to day.
That's an issue. I mean, I don't know.
It's a big issue.
Yeah, I don't know if we win that game if Reed doesn't play.
I agree. And I certainly don't think you win the Kansas game if he doesn't play.
Yeah.
So we have Illinois on Friday. Illinois has, I believe, 5 starters that are averaging above 10 points a game. They've been playing very well. What are your thoughts on that game, Joe, coming up?
Look, it's going to be tough. I don't know who they've played thus far. I don't know who they've played thus far, so I'd back off on that 10 points a game for all the starters. I mean, we saw a couple of years ago when they played in the NCAA.
Yeah, you're right.
Brad Underwood was pretty cocky about what was going to happen. Well, UConn went on a 30-0 run, so that was pretty effective. And it's going to be noon in New York City, and it's going to be a UConn home game for all extents and purposes. I think it'll be a good test. I mean, looking at Illinois, they got a 7-1 center from Croatia, who's going to cause some problems. They've got a couple of kids from Croatia. They've got a 7-2 power forward and a 7-1 center. So that's a lot of size, But that means UConn might be able to get out and run against them. We don't know. I think it'll be I think the next 2 games are great tests. I think Kansas with the Peterson kid, their freshman superstar, even though he's a little banged up, will be a big test at Allen Fieldhouse. And I think Illinois, I would expect UConn to win, but it's not going to be like a 30-point game against Bryant, put it that way.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, they played Jackson State and Florida Gulf Coast, Texas Tech, and I believe Alabama were the only.
Well, those are 2 good games. Those are, anytime you play a P4 game, that's a good game. So.
Oh, I didn't know that Florida Gulf Coast is P4.
No, not Florida Gulf Coast. You nitwit. What were the last 2 you named?
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. Okay, yeah, Texas Tech and Alabama. They played tough. Yeah. And they lost to Alabama.
Florida Gulf Coast.
Well, yeah.
What are you drinking? What are you drinking this morning?
I forgot that I mentioned Alabama as well.
What are you drinking?
I think I'm drinking coffee. I hope so.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm excited for it. It is going to be in the Garden. It is going to be a home game for UConn, and they are they're 6-1, so it'll be a good test for us. And then we have the women have a lovely game against Xavier again Sunday.
Their next 3 games are thumps.
I know. Xavier,
the line in Vegas will be like 45 for all 3 of the next games.
And you know what the good thing is? Not one of them's on Peacock. We got FS1, ESPN2, and FS1. So that's at least a positive. We don't have to use the Peacock. But I mean, South Florida, they're not even going to give us any trouble.
No.
And obviously DePaul won't as well.
No.
So they're going to get out of roll. They're going to get bruising.
Which I'm not even going to say it's going to be challenging because I think they're going to thump USC as well without Juju. It just, I mean, she's a good coach. I like her, but they're completely outmatched there.
And Joe, what do you think about the Kansas game? Because that's another big one for us as well. It's going to be on ESPN2.
Well, I think it's a huge test. Obviously, playing there is a difficult scenario. The 23 championship game lost a close game at Allen Fieldhouse. Again, I think a lot of it depends on if the Kansas, the number 1 freshman in the country, Peterson kid is healthy. I thought he had gotten hurt. I would expect, and again, look for all of these teams, these are big games, but it's kind of like with the women, where you're going to be at the end of the year. Yeah. So all these games are to test yourself and to see how you're progressing. So
yeah, I mean, I think on the women's side, the Big East is just so. I don't know. I hate that we're in the Big East. I just think that they'll probably, the UConn women over the course of the next couple months will get a better challenge going against the practice players every day than they will from the teams in the Big East. They're just glorified scrimmages at this point.
Yeah, they're really, there's nobody there that challenges them at all. There's nobody that comes close.
As Joe said earlier, I mean, back in the day, it was different, right? You had Notre Dame, you had BC, you had Rutgers, Villanova was really good. Like, it's just not. It's such a bummer when I look at the schedule and I'm like, really?
No, you're right.
It's crazy.
You're right. I mean, they're really, like you said, there isn't much of a challenge that's going to happen until maybe March. I mean, I know that we play Tennessee as well, but otherwise,
Tennessee will be a tough game just because of the way that they play. You know, it'll be a high taxing game. They beat us last year, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes, that was that crazy game down at Rocky Top.
And we play Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame's not that good this year. Sorry.
All you got to do is keep Hidalgo contained.
Again, let Hidalgo get 30 and just contain everybody else. That's an easier task. Who cares?
And obviously, the rematch against USC is going to be much different without Juju.
Well, it's not even just without Juju, right? Like, Kiki is gone to the WNBA. Their other big gone to the WNBA. Heckle's with us. Like, I'm not impressed with what I've seen from USC so far. Yeah.
No, so you are correct. I mean, playing in the Big East is definitely somewhat a hindrance to us, and we get better challenges out of our practice players. And then, even looking at the men, we got Florida and Texas out of conference. Those will be interesting. Those are good tests for us. And then we'll get rolling into the Big East. So we will see what happens. But it was good getting those 2 wins over Michigan and Utah. And the Bryant game was a glorified.
Well, by the way, what I also will say is that when you think about the Michigan game, I'm so glad that it ended up being a game, because I do think that, like, us blowing out a number 6 team in the country is not great for women's sports or women's basketball. Right. So I was glad that they were able to come back for sure.
Right. Joe, your thoughts on that too? Because she is right, especially with the way sports are now. I mean, I heard that they are adding women's college flag football at some schools.
And that what I don't, you lost me on your street.
As a college sport, because of Title IX, because some sports are being cut, so they're going to add college flag football at several.
I mean, that's fine. I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, I don't know what.
I think it's great. I was impressed by it. I was surprised to hear the number of teams and the number of girls that do it. So that was surprising to me that it's going to be added, but it's going to be.
Maria would have been great. I think Maria would have been ferocious.
Oh yeah, are you kidding
me? I love flag football. I love it. Football. Yeah, they're adding it at the D3 level too to a lot of.
I think, and I say this with all due respect because I love Maria. I think she would have been a bitch to play against.
Yeah.
Well, she is anyway. Don't worry.
I don't think our girl Kyler would have taken any prisoners.
No. I would have been the perfect type. I would have been the Travis Kelce of flag football.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Are they adding?
And I've just done a little quick research. I think this Darren Peterson kid, the best player for Kansas, probably the best freshman in the country. I think he's going to be. Iffy for UConn because he's not playing in this NIL event out in Las Vegas where St. John's got beat last night, and I got to throw one football nugget here. So
I was going to ask you about football too. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing: how come we never mentioned yesterday what Notre Dame did to Syracuse?
70-7. It was the most embarrassing thing that I ever witnessed. And just how can you not have a backup quarterback in this climate with NIL. You can afford a backup quarterback. And I mean, even at UConn, I mean, we technically don't have the best backup quarterback, but
you
for
got
Syracuse,
one.
for Syracuse to have such a drop off like that when their guy got hurt,
I just think 70. If you're Syracuse, you're humiliated by 70.
It is humiliating.
All right, back to basketball. I don't want Conlon again. I don't want our middle linebacker to get bored.
Maria, who do you have? Do you have anyone over Thanksgiving weekend?
Yeah, we play tonight. We have St. Joe's tonight. Yeah. And then we open up league play next Wednesday.
Are you
Who's
home
that
tonight?
again?
Eastern. Yeah, our rival.
At Eastern or there? At
yeah.
At
UCONN first, then we go there. We play everybody home and away.
And is St. Joe's home?
St. Joe's is home today.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, you're close to matching your win total from last year, correct?
I am. Isn't that sad?
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm rooting for her, man. I'm psyched. Maria, she was on the road recruiting. She was going to camps.
I know. She works her ass off.
Busting her tail all summer.
I love it. They're going to be good because she works.
I love it. Schumann's working on his buyout, and Maria is just killing it. Maria got a
buyout. What buyout?
From his under 10-year-old team that he screwed in the playoff. He got outcoached in the playoff.
He lost in the championship game.
Yeah, he got thoroughly outcoached.
Natives
are restless.
Oh, hold on. We got a question here. Who is the most cringeworthy women's basketball coach Maria has ever encountered?
Ooh.
Cringeworthy. Oh, man.
He is back. Okay, that's why.
Honestly, I got to be honest. I was never a Muffet McGraw fan.
I'll tell you who I liked less than Muffet McGraw was her moron husband, Matt.
Yeah, I just like nothing. I don't like anything about Notre Dame or her. Sorry.
I'll give you another one. How about C. Vivian?
Yeah, she recruited me, so I actually knew her pretty decently. But yeah,
okay.
she not as cringeworthy as Muffet, but she was definitely, another one who he wasn't cringeworthy from a standpoint of like I actually liked him and the way he ran his program, but just his demeanor, I'd have to go with Harry from Villanova.
Gino's buddy?
Yeah, I love him, but just his persona is a little cringeworthy.
Okay.
His suits look like they were from like the 1960s and like his hairstyle, but he was great. But yeah, I'd go with Muffet.
Okay. I would think Muffet's the clubhouse leader.
Yeah.
I'm still banned from the Boneyard too, Christy. Don't worry about it. I'm with you on that one.
Boneyard, does that still happen?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, Boneyard. The message board where everyone goes. Wow. The ACC fumbled expansion worse than any conference. That's I would just pay money. Christy is DB Cooper. I love it. DB Cooper or Batman. I want to find out who he is. Yeah. So a good weekend to look forward to. We hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving. Maria, best of luck against St. Joe's. Excited for that. And
is Wendy still coaching there, Maria?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yep.
That would be fun. Please say hi to her for me tonight.
I will.
And your rival Eastern. So
yeah,
we're excited for that. Joe, great to see you. We'll talk Monday after Sunday when we know more what's going on.
Yeah. I'm disappointed I won't get to see you 3 times this week, but I'm sure I'll survive.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll survive. I'm sure you'll survive and thrive, so to speak. I have an interview with the athletic director from Air Force.
Your old boss.
As a seasoned veteran, can you give me any tips? I did my research.
I thought you've already talked to him once.
Not on a podcast.
No, just do the same thing you do with us. Just make sure everything you ask is factual.
Okay. All right.
That would be a big advantage.
Yeah.
Well, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I hope they have I hope especially you guys and Shu have a great holiday. And I don't want to come off as corny, but the way things have gone with the last couple of weeks, I'm thankful for you folks being in my life. So
yes, we are thankful for you as well.
You're healthy, man. We're thankful you're okay. That's for sure.
Yes.
Things are great.
I'll definitely I'll shoot you a text tomorrow, or a message tomorrow. So for Maria Conlon,
is there a reason you're going to shoot me a message? I'm not that thankful.
All right, for women's.
Of course, you could shoot me a message anytime, Cully. You know that.
Women's basketball, UConn women's basketball legend Maria Conlon, Western Connecticut State University head coach, and Joe D'Ambrosio, the legendary voice of the Huskies, the best of the best. I am Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them right back at life.